Good evening and welcome to the Laughing Monkey Music Show. Today we have Steve Conte on. How you doing, man?
I'm laughing.
You are laughing. Are you excited from your music? Your new single?
Yeah, man. It's really exciting. I'm like a little kid all over again. You know, I've been posting about it, and you know, I got some friends of mine that are like a little bit older, going, Steve, I just love that you still get so excited about this stuff. I'm like, come on, old man. What are you kidding me? You know, like, of course, you always get excited about when your music is played. I mean,
what do they do?
If I ever stop getting excited about my music getting played, then just shoot me, you know, because.
Well, it's not like you have an office job, you know, and they're like, "Oh, I get excited! I just got this report
but
done
you know, maybe Axl Rose doesn't get excited anymore. I don't know. Maybe somebody, you know, Bruce Springsteen doesn't get excited anymore. I don't know.
It's awesome. So you should be excited. I do like it. I got a little sneak preview. It is. I appreciate that. Let's talk about it. So you got two songs on it.
What are we talking about? What is it? For the people out there that aren't in the know.
All right. So it is the new music. You've got two songs out right now.
Hold on.
Do you have some props for me? You got props?
Don't tell, show. It's usually
the opposite.
For. It's the opposite in screenwriting.
It is.
No, it's not. What you got? It's the same.
Don't show.
No,
it's the other.
No, I just have it mixed up. It's show, don't tell. That's what it is. Let's show.
Please do.
This is what we're talking about. Oh, it's in it.
Very nice. We can see it.
Hold on. I'm gonna take it out of the shrink wrap so y'all can see it now. Let me get my trusty.
Don't cut yourself. Knife. Your guitar hand. Next thing you know, he can't play for a week because he cut his finger.
So there she is, condom sleeve rolled back.
There it is, recovery doll.
All right, and see, she's got some pills falling out of her mouth, and then the back side, which we haven't shown this. I haven't posted this yet. I've been saving this for the next round of posting, but
very cool.
Yeah,
we'll coincide with your next posting. We'll put this up at the same time then.
Okay. So yeah, this is a 7-inch glow in the dark.
Oh wow!
If this were charged up, I mean, maybe I'll hold it over here against the light for a little while and then turn my lights off. You can see it, but it goes in the dark green.
That is pretty cool.
Pretty damn cool. And I thought that went well with the sort of like EC Comics, you know, vibe of the. You know, I'm tapping into my inner like John Waters, you know, like.
You know, I do like that. Before we touch on the music part, let's talk about the art part. Where did that?
This is my man Rich Jones, who plays guitar with me in the Michael Monroe band.
Good job.
I just had some dinner and some wine, so excuse me.
More wine than dinner.
Two glasses. So Rich is a very talented, besides being a great guitar player, songwriter, and you know, all-around creative guy. He is really great with artwork and graphics, and he actually drew. This is a photo of me taken by our guitar tech, Bobby Niemanen, with Michael Monroe. Rich took this photo and just like drew over it. I don't know how he did it, man. It's incredible. And you know, we kind of went back and forth on the artwork a little bit, like, how are we going to do this? Let me see. Is this thing going yet?
You can see a little bit when you hold it back. Yeah, I can see a little bit the hue when you cover it in the dark. You can see it kind of. It reminds me of those little glow in the dark things you get. And see, that's even.
It's gonna be impossible.
Don't even expect that part. Yeah, it works. We thought we were just gonna get the preview. We get to look down your shirt too.
Yeah, exactly.
Bonus. Everything. You give me everything in this show.
I'm so unruly. Excuse me.
You are.
So yeah. Anyway, so we kind of went back and forth on the what the cover should be, and Rich had a couple ideas, and I was just like, yeah, it's good, but it's not the kind of the vibe I was looking for. And then he said, hey, I got an idea. I'm not gonna say anything. I'll just send you my idea later. And he said it's kind of an EC Comics thing, and I was like, EC Comics, what's that? I had to like go Google it. Oh, those comics, yeah. You know, like the horror comics, you know, from the like 60s. And so
like Creep Show and stuff. It reminds me of.
Yeah, so I loved it, and then we just went with that idea. So yeah, it's as much I mean the single, the music is out. Of course, you can get it download and all that and streaming, but if you want the physical product, I mean, you get this cool thing, and I've been selling them from my website and whatever, my Facebook posts, signed. So I'll sign these and send them out from home. You can get them from Wicked Cool Records, which is the label, Little Steven's label. But if you order from that website or from Bandcamp, they just ship out from the office, and I don't sign them. But if you want them signed, you get them from me. Go to my website and find out about that, Steve Conte.
And on your Facebook posts and follow you on Facebook.
But anyone who's not on Facebook, if you just go to Steve Conte NYC, you can find out about it. So
very cool.
That's the artwork.
That is awesome. Now you said download. Are both the songs on for download or just the single?
Oh, yeah, it's 2 songs, side A and side B. So side A is Recovery Doll, which is the
lead off single.
Which is the lead single. Side B on this record is which you can get both as a download or on the 45 is Rock and Roll Queen, which was a song on my 2014 Steve Conte NYC album, but it's the original demo from like 1996 maybe.
It's really good demo. It sounds like a regular song. If you didn't say anything, it almost feels like you're taking away from it by calling it a demo.
Well, I had to put demo because it's been out 3 times now. It's okay. The official version, my version, is out on Steve Conte NYC album. I had a version that I did. I used to play in a band called Mr. Henry, and in which I play guitar, sang a little, and wrote some as well. I wasn't the main guy in that band, but that was one of the songs I did in that band, and that's out on a record by them, which is another different version. All kind of in the same ballpark. But this one was the very first version I ever did, and it's got like lap steel guitar. It's got a lot more harmonies, and some lyrics are different. There's like an extra verse. So it's kind of interesting.
It doesn't feel like a demo, because both of the songs, I want to say, are very strong songs. It's not like you have, usually a B-side is a weaker single. Like, that's a really strong song. It's like having 2 kids and being like, these are my kids, I love them. I mean, this was my stepchild, but I love them both.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? It's like,
the funny thing, I paid so much money to make this new single, and the B-side is a cassette demo. It was done on an 8-track cassette. I mean, it sounds, believe me,
it sounds good.
Recovery Doll sounds amazing, and it's got amazing players on it. It sounds, the engineering and the mixing and the mastering, it's all amazing. Actually, the same guy mastered it. I had the same guy mastering is like the last step of a recording process. For those of you who don't know, you sort of bring the volume level up and you like EQ it. You give it enough highs and lows or whatever to sound like it belongs and fits in with the rest of the stuff, right? So this was a cassette demo from 1996, and it was actually recorded. I'm talking about Rock and Roll Queen demo, of course. Was recorded on an 8-track cassette deck that I had, as opposed to, Recovery Doll, which is recorded 24-track, 2-inch fat, analog tape, and then put into the computer, and then, mixed through a ridiculous Pro Tools.
There is a different sound. I mean, don't get me wrong. There is a bigger production on Recovery Doll. I'm just giving you props on the other song, saying it is, and there's a swagger to it that makes you feel like you're listening to like an old Rolling Stones album type of Wild Horses. It's got that feel of the analog old school feel that fits the song, and you feel like you want to play your guitar low.
It is analog. It's analog because it's cassette.
Well, you know what I'm saying. But I'm saying it has that feel though too. Like, is that
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
Well, good. No, I'm glad you think it fits, and I did too. I didn't listen to it and go, "Oh God, how is this going to match with the other side?" It was the mastering guy did a great job.
Did great. So let's talk Recovery Doll. It is a
Yeah.
good song. It is catchy as hell.
Oh, good. Thank you.
It's so where'd you get that idea from? Would you kind of had it in your
You know, the funny thing about this song, and I normally think I shouldn't say this, but can I curse?
you can do whatever you want.
Right.
You've already made us look down your shirt. The doors are open tonight.
Oh, sorry. Let me button
dark
up
thing.
here. Let me
No, yeah,
button
no,
up.
on the dark album. So yeah, no, you can curse. Yes,
But by the way, can you tell what my shirt is?
it is England. Rolling Stones. Is that Exile or something?
Yeah, it's Exile
Yeah.
on Main Street.
See, I
I
noticed
never
that
get to wear, I never get to wear this
flag.
shirt.
I noticed a little flag on your cufflink.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
On the collar too, I think.
So actually, I didn't think of that when I was talking to you, but I didn't realize it was till after. Yeah, that's funny. The Stones reference.
Yeah, I finally got a chance to drag it out of the closet. So anyway, what I normally would never say about a song like this is it is probably I first recorded the first demo of Recovery Doll back in 2004 when I was writing for New York Dolls. And it wasn't called Recovery Doll. It was called I Want to Buy Me a Dog, which is actually a song by the Monkees. Right. So I knew I couldn't use that, but I was using that lyric as a placeholder, right? I want to buy me a dog.
I was gonna say it fits, yeah, it
right.
fits.
So, but I think Mickey Dolenz sang it by the Monkees. But David Joe passed on it, right? And then cut to 10 years later, 2014, whatever. I presented it to the Michael Monroe Band, and they passed on it. I was like, okay, I guess this is a sign because this has happened with songs before. And they end up becoming really good for me, but the other artists that they were presented to first didn't get it, right? For whatever reason, maybe, it wasn't realized enough, and finally, when it came time to do it for this record, I worked on the demo a little bit more, and I added those background vocals, the bop shabops,
which are great.
Figured, yeah, thanks. And I had my son. Then I thought I should have my son, my 12-year-old son Zaya, sing on it, which he did, and it sounds great.
It feels like you're on the boardwalk or something, just listening to a band, just jamming out on Coney Island. It just has a mood. I could smell the festival just listening to it.
You can almost taste the hot dogs and French fries they still under the boardwalk down by the sea. Yeah. All right. Anyway, a couple of key changes there for you.
There you're right. It does. It has a groove.
Yeah. So, when maybe it all kind of came together when, when I was thinking about it from my record. Maybe it wasn't really together enough for anybody else to get it. I like to think that other people have the vision and they could see through a demo and go, yeah, there's something cool about that. Let's work on it. But nobody said that. So I'm like, all right, I keep it for myself. It's fine. That happened with Gypsy Cab, my song, OK DJ. A couple other of my songs were like that too.
Especially New York Dolls. I'm really surprised because that really would have been more.
Yeah. Well,
I could have heard it,
Who knows? I mean, Sylvain, of course, Sylvain had a lot of songs back then that were being presented for the album.
Right.
And kind of once I present a song once and it gets not the overwhelming response, I kind of take it out of the running. So
yeah,
it goes back to the drawing board, and then I work on it a little bit more and think, well, or I just toss it in the didn't happen pile. But I knew there was something about this song, and this was one of the ones that Stevie Van Zandt said, that's got to be a single. So I was like, all right. I mean, I had completely different ideas for what the single should be, but he was like, hey, if he likes it and wants to get behind it, I pick my battles.
Well, I'll be honest. Well, I haven't heard the other songs, but I always think when a band does an album, does anything, you always want to follow with a really strong, out of the gate, catchy song that you know who the band is, you know what they're doing, you know the artist. I'm here. Pay attention. And then you can get creative, and then like third or fourth thing you can do like a slower song, and then, you know what I'm saying? But you want your first song to be like, hey, I'm here. And that's like punk poppy. It's like it's got this like ba-da-da-da, but it's really got that rockabilly to it.
Oh, all
No,
right.
and I haven't heard this. I haven't heard this sound in a while. You know, and it's funny because this is a sound that you would have heard like in the
40 years
70s.
ago.
No, but it doesn't sound. It's not a dated sound because it has like the bop shop is an older sound, but you get the guitars are more modern, and then the chorus is more the 70s. It feels like it's actually kind of covers a couple different decades because it has a lot of everything in it,
Like me.
which is but it has but it has a very punky feel to it. So it's
okay, that's fair. And if I was asked to, what bag is this in? I mean, it's good. It's a rock and roll song, of course, but I like to say that it's in the mindset or maybe in the head of late 70s, early 80s Stones.
mm-hmm.
Like when the Stones were kind of reacting to punk, when
Yep.
they were reacting to like Some Girls and Emotional Rescue and
but 5 years before the Harlem Shuffle.
yeah. Tattoo You, Emotional Rescue, Some Girls. That's what I think this
absolutely. But
the collection of songs that I turned in for the single were that.
But it's not that, but it's a little bit more than that. It feels like it's that amped up is what I'm saying. It's
yes.
like,
well,
I feel like it has covered a couple decades, but it has that. There's just something about it that feels so current, but it also feels like I knew it. Like I like that sound. Those are the albums I grew up on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the album doesn't sound dated either. It doesn't sound like, oh, it's an old. I mean, it feels like it's here.
Well, that's what I always think about. The music that I put out is like, I'm not trendy, so I'm never like, oh, you're just this far behind the trend. No, I'm decades behind the trend. Like I'm not anywhere near the trend, and I know it, and I don't want to be near the trend. I mean, I'm not writing music for laptops. I'm not using samples and loops, and I mean, I have used the loop occasionally here or there, and I might have used a sample somewhere on this album. I don't know, but it's not like you can hear it and go, oh, it's a sample. It might be behind something, fortifying it.
Yeah, if that was the type of music you're doing, we probably wouldn't be talking. I'm all about authentic music.
Yeah,
you're authentic.
So I mean, the band on this record is Charlie Drayton, who played with Keith Richards and the Expensive Winos, the Divinyls, the B-52s. So many great bands. He's his groove has been on Love Shack and Take It So Hard and
oh wow,
I Touch Myself. I mean, just like it's one of my favorite drummers of all time, and here he is on my record, and my kid on vocals, and Nikki Richards, like who's been with Madonna, and LaJuan Carter, Dent, who's they're both like studio and live, pro soul sisters from New York, who just they sing that gospel, blues, R&B, soul stuff like in their sleep. It's what they are, So yeah, it's just a great lineup of people, and it's a groove. The main thing with this is like I had a bunch of like rock and roll songs, and I thought, I don't just want to make a normal, just a guy playing a beat. I want something a little quirkier. Who can I call? Charlie Drayton, because the guy just takes like the normal thing and does something weird to it every time. That's always surprising and really, really pleasing.
It's sped up. Like it could like remember in the 80s when you'd hear like different music but all together on the radio. You hear like Prince and Men at Work and Van Halen. Remember like bands could actually sound different?
Oh yeah.
So this song could be on the radio now, like still like a Green Day song because of the energy on it. It's kind of like the Stones, but on Adderall. It's like it's kind of got that you know what I mean? So it feels like it's current enough where it could step on its own. Who knows what radio does down there anyhow. But the point is it holds up.
Well, if you
But
listen to Little Steven's, thank you. If you listen to Little Steven's Underground Garage, where I've been hearing it, because it's the coolest song in the world this week. Little Steven does that with his records on his show
yeah,
on the whole station. So all week, this song gets like
feels kind of biased, though, doesn't it?
Well, he could make Springsteen the coolest song of the week, or he could make himself the coolest song. But he chose me this week. I mean, I guess he's got 52 weeks. He's got a lot of people to choose from. So.
It's a whole E Street band.
But yes, I'm on his label. But even before I was on his label, he was making my song the coolest song in the world. And
it is a cool song. It is good. I'm just busting your stones, man.
I had what was my coolest songs? OK DJ, Head Kicked In Tonight. Those are both before I did anything with his label. And then Gimme Gimme Rockaway was my first Wicked Cool Records release.
If you didn't think it was cool, he would have even brought you on the label, invested in you. So no, it's cool. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, he would have probably played it anyway. Even in fact, I went ahead and made this record without him because he was busy, like being on tour and stuff. And I've been sending him songs for because the label contacted me and said, "Hey, let's do another single. You know, it's been a couple of years since Rockaway. Let's go." And I said, "All right, well, here's a bunch of songs." And Steven was busy, and I was like, "All right, never mind. I'll go ahead and make it myself." So I made it myself, and I was ready to just hand him the record and go, "Here, you know, I'm going to put it out myself." And they said, "Oh, we love this." I'm like, "Okay, well, let's talk." And so then we, came to an agreement. And so yeah, they put it out, but there will be a couple more singles, I think.
Now, now that we're shrouded, I feel like I'm shrouded in mystery with the questions I can ask you. Are these singles that are going to be enough to be an album at some point? Are we just doing singles and then maybe an album, or you turn it sideways and you can actually match up to your head? You know what I'm saying?
Do you have you mean this one?
Yeah. No. The face. If you turn the face sideways, it actually.
Oh.
No, like turn it
this way.
No. Turn it up. Yeah. Oh. You can cover your face. Yeah. Is it a single?
You know what? I can't say too much right now.
You did a video. Is that in relation to?
I'm working. Yes, I'm working on a couple of videos actually.
That's not a secret because you've been posting it everywhere. I mean,
I know, but I never posted the song title.
No, you have not.
So,
but if it's not a single,
no, that video I've been posting about is not the single.
Oh, okay.
So there you have another clue. Yes, there is another song at least somewhere.
Well, then that's the worst kept secret. That if you're posting on a video for a song you haven't done yet.
Well, I can't keep my mouth shut sometimes. I love them. I love Steven. I love Dennis Mortensen, Rebecca Stern, who's been reaching out to you. She's the press
super
person.
Nice. She's been super cool about the emails and stuff. She's been great too.
Everybody's great. It's Renegade Nation, Wicked Cool Records, Underground Garage. They're all sort of related and related with Springsteen and the Sopranos and Lilyhammer and it's.
I mean, I tell you, so
all stuff that I love. It's all stuff that I love and respect. So
if it's in.
Good. And I've been in one of Steven's wife Maureen's movies. I was doing a little acting over the years, and I was in one of her movies at Christmas time. So that was fun. It was like a Zoom movie, A Christmas Carol, Rock and Roll Christmas Carol.
Very cool. That is cool.
And I've sat in on Vinny. Wow, Big Pussy. Vinny Pastore's acting class, and Maureen does a lot of Maureen Van Zandt does a lot of her acting readings of scripts in clubs. Well, not since COVID, but
right.
When was the last time we talked? It was in full COVID mode, right?
It was totally COVID. Yeah.
Locked down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
maybe January.
Now that things are opening up a bit, I'm very excited. I'm hoping that in the fall I can do a show in the New York area. Probably not going to head out on tour because I actually have some Michael Monroe gigs in November and December. So I go away to Europe for the summer, spend time with my family over there and chill out. for a bit, come back in the fall, do some more press and promo and signing of these things. I'll take like a break from.
So you're talking to do maybe you can try to do some live, maybe at least one show at least, or you're gonna put like a ragtag band of friends.
I'm hoping to do a show in the fall, but that remains to be seen. I have to sort of look at a lot of things. Who's around? I'd love to get the band that played on this record. I'd love to get Charlie and my brother. And
are they local? Everyone?
Yeah, everyone's in New York. Me and Charlie are neighbors in the Bronx, and my brother's in Manhattan, and the girls are in Manhattan. I would have my son come up too, of course.
Mm-hmm.
He lives with me.
You're like he's down the hall.
Yeah, he's doing
his homework, hopefully. Yes.
Yeah, but we'll see about that. I head out for. We're actually supposed to be making a new Monroe record sometime in the fall, like late October, early November. So, hopefully maybe mid-October. If not, soon.
So when you actually do the Michael album, do you guys have to go elsewhere to record, or do you guys record locally?
Yeah, we'll probably do it in Finland because there's Michael's favorite engineers there and studios that we know, and I think there's also like a deal with the Finnish government where they really support the arts there in Finland.
I was just thinking as far as you being able to do other stuff.
It puts America to shame, like some of the arts situations in other countries like Germany and Finland. I mean, they support their musical artists and probably other art forms as well by giving them grants. And I mean, maybe there are stipulations like I know in Finland you have to record most of your album in Finland to get grants in Finland, which hey, no problem. I have no problem recording in Finland. I go there all the time to play anyway. So, but I wish America would get on this thing about appreciating their artists. But most of the artists here are pretty disposable. So, I mean, new record companies signed, whatever. They might sell millions today, but.
Well, there really isn't, and I think just you are doing having a really special situation right now with Little Steven, because it's kind of got an old school record label working it, and that's not something that a lot of people have right now. It's very personal, individualized, and focused and niche.
Yes.
And that's kind of a gift right now.
That is the thing. That is the thing about Steven and the Underground Garage and. The label, it's a bit of like a bubble, it's like it's its own little universe. Like, some people might say, oh yeah, that's not the real music world. Well, yeah, but it's the real music world that we love. It's the Stones, the Temptations, like great music. It ain't Billie Eilish, it ain't 21 Pilots, who I actually like. It's not these sort of hip hoppy, machiney, keyboardy, Well,
it's a different industry, and I think you guys are kind of circling your wagons and kind of making your own little mark, and it's good.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to the station now. I finally broke down and like got a subscription to Sirius.
So tell me about the station. So let's give the station some props and let's promote some of that. So what is it?
I mean, here's my Sirius XM app on my iPhone, okay? And I go to Underground Garage, and who's playing right now? Richie Valens.
Is it so? Is it his station? Well, I'm just saying, is it Little Steven? Is it his thing? Very cool. Watch out! I might have a copyright issue.
Oh, okay. So anyway, that's Richie Valens. But they'll play everything from 50s rock and roll, 60s, British invasion, psychedelia, blues rock from like Jeff Beck Group, 70s, Bad Company, 80s, pop, rock, punk, punk rock, and up to like right now, modern bands that are like making records that are that sit comfortably next to the classics, you know,
Like
which
you.
I'm one of, and there's a lot of other bands too. That great band I've been hearing, Wild Side. They're also from New York. I've been digging their stuff. You know, they'll play Jesse Mellon, they'll play The Dictators, they'll play a new Dictators record. I've been hearing that quite a bit. They'll play. I'm trying to think of what other Jelly Bricks. It's another newish band that I've been hearing on there. Soraya. Yeah, it's a bunch of great new bands. And
Cool.
you know, you wouldn't is like the rock station in New York, which
Mm-hmm.
is great. A lot of my friends are DJs there, and you know, I'll send them my record, and they go, "Oh man, your record's great, but I can't play it." You know, like, of course you can. I know you can't, but you know, I want you to know what I'm doing.
They can play it once and they get spoken to. I've done that at the radio.
Oh,
There's a time I worked at a record station. I got in trouble for playing one song or two on
yeah,
AM
you
and
know,
FM. It was a double studio. They called me in the office the next day. Mr. Guy in a Hawaiian shirt and a cigar. You know, you can't play that song. I did it. It's rock and roll.
it was not on the list.
Nope, it
Yeah,
wasn't. It
because
wasn't carded.
yeah, I don't know the rules, but all I know is like on commercial stations, you know, they
It's all
deal with
programmed.
their advertisers and their whatever, their board and their, you know, whatever, CEOs,
No.
who knows. But I mean, I'm sure there are CEOs and all that stuff with this, but there are no commercials, there are no advertisers. It's all handpicked by Steven. Steven Van Zandt says what goes on this radio station. So if you like his choices, then you'll like that station. You know, I mean, he's big on Motown, Temptations, British Invasion. You know, I rarely hear a song that I can't stand. You'll never hear Sweet Home Alabama. It's not like a classic rock station.
Yeah.
You know? It's like it's stuff that you're like, whoa, they're playing that. You know, you'll hear Ramones. You know, you hear Clash.
Yeah.
You know, you hear the good stuff. It's just
it sounds good, and if it does, and it feels like that's your audience. That's just where you belong.
Everywhere I go, I bring my trusty microphone and my Pro Tools and my laptops, and I'm writing, and you know, I bring my acoustic and electrics, and you know, I just demo up song ideas. I'm always writing new songs for myself. I'm writing new songs for Monroe, for other artists. I'm producing other people. I have two other artists that I'm talking with here. I just there's not enough hours in a day or enough days in a week or weeks in a year. We need to do everything I want to do. And you know, I tend to like I don't like to say no to things when people call. I go, yes.
Mhm.
Can you do this? Yes. And I go, oh, what did I just say? I just committed myself to something I have no time for. You know, but there are a couple of really good artists that want me to produce them, and I've produced a bunch of records over the years, and I really love doing that. I just love being in the studio, making music happen. You know, whether I'm playing or writing or not. You know, just actually being outside of the you know, not being the writer or the singer or the guitar player, just sitting back and like, what do I like about this? You know, what hits me as being right or not quite right, you know?
Well, being a songwriter, it helps being a producer. I mean, those are all the best, you know.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have a certain degree or even read music or you know, because most people don't really
No,
that are
no.
successful. They're
You
like, I
cer-
can't even read music, or I can't do this, or I can't do that, and you're like, it doesn't matter, or
no,
I don't
you
have music
certainly,
theory.
yeah, you certainly don't need to be able to read music or know music theory or anything. I mean, I happen to be able to do that. I'm not a great reader, but, and I know theory, but
But you know what I'm
that's not
saying,
my,
as far as artists that can rock out some great shit, but they don't know any of that.
yeah. What did Jimi Hendrix know? Or, you know, Wes Montgomery, you know, great jazz guitarist, genius, brilliant, you know, like the harmonic stuff,
He's great.
the
I have some
jazz,
vinyl. I have him on vinyl.
yeah, the jazz stuff, chords and harmony that he had were outrageous, you know, like
Hmm.
still never paralleled to this day. Maybe George Benson gets close, Pat Martino, but you know, the guy didn't know anything, and you don't have to.
But
But
it
the thing
leans to
is,
you being a
but
songwriter, though, right? But being a
yeah,
songwriter,
you don't even
it
need to
helps.
know anything to be a. You don't need to know anything. You just need to be good, talented, and you know, naturally gifted.
But you're an artist and you can hear other people playing, so you can be like, "Oh, here's what I hear as a songwriter."
Yeah,
I
and
think
I don't
that
even
helps.
need
I
to.
think that's the best.
Yeah, I don't need to say, "Hey, man, when you played that flat 13 there, that was you should have been a natural 13." And the
Right.
guy would look at me like, "What?"
Right.
And then I might say, "Well, you played an F sharp instead of a G." Huh?
When you
Oh,
win, you should win.
okay. Look, instead of this, do this. Oh, okay. So you don't need to know the names of chords to be a great songwriter, artist, guitarist. I happen to have done that because I had a thirst for knowledge when I was a kid, and I was like heading down a bad path, and music kind of saved me. I just like, all right, I'm gonna stop obsessing on these bad things over here and obsess on this good thing over here. And then the next thing I knew, I learned about the ins and outs of what I was doing. I actually knew what to call things. No harm in that.
So we're going to talk again, but we're going to round the show. You got like 3 guitars hanging up there. Let's talk about your guitars. Let's show your guitars before. Let's end on your guitars because I'm admiring them from a distance here. What do you
got? These are just random ones that are hanging up there. They're not like up there because I use them often or anything. It's just like, well, that's a Hagstrom Swede bass. The red one.
Mm-hmm.
So Hagstrom made the Swede, which was like their sort of Les Paul guitar in the 60s.
Okay.
And that's the bass version. And then behind that is a Guild 12-string from probably the mid 70s. Behind that is a Zemitis, which is a beautiful guitar. I have to hold on.
Plug in. You can.
You have to see this one.
Which is good because this is a video show. It's not radio. There we go. Oh, look at that.
So it's like a metal front,
mm-hmm.
but it's all wood.
Yeah.
And these were used by like Ronnie Wood in the 70s and James Honeyman Scott from the Pretenders. And those are the 2 guys that I really saw with them that made me love them. And behind that is another Hagstrom jazz guitar.
Yeah.
But in this room, I have a number of guitars that aren't hanging up there. I have my, the sound.
No.
Microphone back in. I have my, what else do I have here? I have my 59 Les Paul Jr. I have Martin acoustic, Gibson acoustic, J160E. I have a 335. Too many. And this little nylon string.
Oh, wow.
Tacoma. Not a brand that I ever really knew about or heard, but I saw it in the music shop and had a cutaway, which was nice, and it was electric, and I needed it. It was when I was playing with Willie DeVille.
Yeah.
And I had to go on tour with him in Europe, and I needed a nylon, and so I went and really quick. I went to my local guy Matt at 30th Street Guitars in New York City, and I said, "Matt, I need an acoustic nylon string. What do you got? I need it tomorrow. I'm leaving Friday for the tour." And he's like, "Try this one." I tried it, and of course, after I bought it and got it home, they said, "Oh, Steve, we're gonna rent a nylon string when we get over there." I'm like, okay. I just went and bought this guitar for nothing, but I kept it. It's really I first started out playing nylon string. It was like one of the first instruments that I had at home, and it really worked well with me because I was a drummer first, and I didn't know about guitar picks, so I would just play with my thumb, and the strings are a lot easier on your finger if you're playing with your thumb. And the first thing I did was first song I wrote was went like this. I just used my nail, and and it's just got a really familiar old kind of feel. It's different from a steel string. So,
All right. Bye.
all right, bro. Take care.
Bye.